today for a meditation a day. And our guest meditator is Susan Kennard. Susan has been with us on several different shows, and we're so pleased to have Susan back. Susan, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ruth. Thanks for inviting me once again to the Enlightened World Network and the meditation a day. I enjoy doing these, and when you invited me, I said, what should we do today? You know, I just asked the guides, and what should we do? And what came up really strongly was to help people understand that they can heal their body. And also I really felt that it was important for people to feel empowered about that, you know, because there's so much in the world now where people feel disempowered, that something outside of them might be the thing that makes them unwell or makes them feel out of control or disempowered. So I felt that it was a good time to come into that place of trust and that place of knowing that we are a divine being having a human experience and not a human having a divine experience. You know, and so when we can look at it that way, we can see that this being that we are, this incredible being of light that we are, that houses a human body, which I see as a barometer, as you know, kind of an indication for how much we love ourselves, or how much in alignment we are with why we truly came in this lifetime to experience a human expression and our true mission. Then we can really see that reflection in our body, because we can see if there's a message in our body, then that message is just so beautiful, because it is our indication to really listen to our body. And so, you know, if people don't know me and haven't met me before, then I'm known as a spiritual scientist. And the reason for that is because I like to help people with the science of who they are and the soul of who they are. And my background is psychology and psychotherapy. And I also practice with meta health, which is a bit like neuropsychology, when we're looking at the emotional causal reason for the body showing dis-ease. And I also work and channel my guides, and have done that for probably 25 years now. And so the guides will be coming in and really taking us through a meditation so that we can access those parts of us that perhaps we need to listen to. But also we're going to be receiving, I'm told, we're going to be receiving energy through sound and light codes into the body. And so one of the things that we need to remind ourselves of is that we are vibration. And so because we are vibration, then when we receive a vibration of a very high velocity, let's say through sound or through color or through voice even, then we can actually help those cells within our body to vibrate at a higher level. And so when we're vibrating at this higher, lighter level, we might say, then the reflection we give out to the outside world is a brighter, more sparkly one. And so then what we get back is a more brighter and sparkly experience in this world. We can kind of put it down to grassroots, really. So yeah, so that's really what I wanted to do today. So to help everybody to feel that sense of empowerment around their physical body, and to remember that that physical body is the vehicle for our soul's mission, truly, and to love that part of us. And when I was teaching this afternoon, I was speaking about how our body, I trained as a naturopath as well, so how our body is 80-90% water, and that the water carries the message of light, and it carries the message of light within our bodies. So the more hydrated we are with beautiful light, and obviously the foods we put into our body as well, but it's also our emotions. And so when we have these toxic emotions, I suppose we would say. So these feelings of fear, these feelings of anger, and all of those different emotions that humans have, when we have those and they stay in our body for a long time, then sometimes we do get a message in our body that is there to tell us that we need to bring more light in. Okay, so there's no judgment with that, because I know there's a huge amount of fear in the world at the moment. And even though we might be fairly enlightened and we know that perhaps we are this beautiful being of light having a human experience, you know, we're still living in this experience of this timeline. And this timeline can be challenging for people. And what I feel it's doing is it's bringing up the old fears, and perhaps some of that's childhood, and it's bringing up the old fears. And these fears are just, you know, the guides tell me it's just like a bit of dust in your field. And so what we're going to be doing today is dusting off. We're getting the feather duster and we're dusting off a bit of the field so that people can become a bit brighter and a bit more sparkly. Okay, so if people are ready, we're just going to put our hands on our heart. And one of the things that I'm being guided to do first actually is for everybody just to breathe in through their nose and out through their mouth a few times. And the reason for this is we're actually coming into the sympathetic nervous system. So we're actually kind of when we're in the sympathetic nervous system, we're in our fight and flight. So when we breathe in through our nose, we're actually coming into the parasympathetic. So we're actually able to dilute those feelings of fear. And this is just a little reminder and a little tip that I'm getting here from the guides, is that we can come into this space by breathing in through our nose and breathing out through our mouth. And even if we just do that a couple of times, we come into that space of activating that peace and calm within. And I suppose we just come out of that fight and flight, and we come out of that part of us that might be in the fear response just for a few moments. So just come into that space of peace and calm. Everything in this moment is there for you. You need nothing but your breath. And that breath just takes you into that space of going within. And I want you all just to imagine that there is a beautiful star underneath your feet. And this is your Earth star. And I want you to connect. Imagine your feet are connected to your very own Earth star. And this Earth star is connecting you to Mother Earth and allowing you to feel safe and secure, and really connecting to that place of support. And even if you didn't receive support from Mother in this lifetime, know that you are supported by Mother in the sense of Gaia, this beautiful earth that we set our little sparkly feet on every day. And this part of us that remembers that we're human and that we are supported by Mother. So just connect with that feeling of safety, even if it is just while we're doing this meditation. Just connect with that place of safety. And then I want you to imagine that above your head is a beautiful star, and this is your soul star. And I want you just to connect with the brightness, the sparkliness of that star above your head. And know that this soul star holds all of the knowledge of all of the lifetimes you've ever lived. all of the times that you remembered that you were unconditional love. All of the times that you remembered that you were so much more than this physical body. And just connect with the energy of that wisdom, that complete universal, multiversal wisdom. And I want you now just to imagine that that star is rising up into the universe, wherever you are in the world, and imagine that going higher and higher and higher as you truly connect with your pure connection to Source, to the Creator, to the universe. And I want you to imagine a beautiful beam of, in fact, what I'm seeing is golden, sparkly rainbow light coming down from your soul star, shining that light on you, shining the light within your light, and almost creating this beautiful beam of protective light, a spotlight on you, so that you feel that sense of connection to the divine, to Creator, to God Source energy, and that connection to Mother Earth. So I want you to once again come into your heart space. And if you haven't got your hands on your heart, perhaps this would be a time to just really connect with your heart. And I want you to imagine that this physical body that you have starts to look like just light. And imagine that this light body that you can see actually holds so many messages for you. Messages of love and compassion, messages of freedom and abundance. And this is connecting to your true birthright as a beautiful soul. This part of you has the knowing that this physical body that you chose was a physical body that was just perfect. And it holds everything you need to carry out your mission. Sometimes when we don't feel that sense of pure love of ourselves, or we may hold shocks and traumas and beliefs, some of them we've brought in with us, some of them they've been whilst growing in the womb, some of them at birth, some of them in childhood, some of them in the now present day of experiences. When we hold those worries, concerns, emotions such as shame and guilt and fear, then we start to have little interruptions in our light field. And so we wish for you now just to imagine that without judgment, that you could just see those little interruptions in your light field. And just know that all they are is dust. Just little bits of dusty energy that stops your light from flooding out, from sparkling out like a lighthouse for others. And so when you think about your mission, we really think about you as being a lighthouse, a light for others. You're not the fixer or the healer. You are just the light for others to reflect and see that they have a light too, a beautiful light in this world. So we wish for you to connect with those dusty bits. And we wish for you just to see them and acknowledge them. And some of you may be able to connect with emotions in those dusty bits, those interruptions in the light field. And so we are going to come in and, yeah, okay, thanks. The guides are stepping in here. I have the Palladians here who wish to come in first. And when the Palladian Collective come in, they come in because they are healing old resentments. This is how they work with me. They help people to heal resentments and anger. And when we hold resentment, just the vibration of resentment, even if we don't feel it, you know, we can hold that vibration. When they come in to heal this, they are also coming in to open your heart field. And when we open our heart field, we are able to receive the abundance and love of the universe, which is 100% what we are here to do, to receive and give on the same level. We were never meant to be a sacrifice. We were never meant to give ourselves. We were meant to be equal in our light, giving and receiving. So I just want you just to hear the tones as they come in and just receive this into your heart field. This is the first beings that wish to work with you today. So just take a deep breath and stay centered with your hands on your heart. Good. And just connect with any other interruptions in light in your light field, and just notice without judgment. And maybe notice that some of them are no longer there. And so what I'm hearing here is Mother Mary stepping in. And when Mother Mary steps in, she comes in to heal the suffering child, or the child that's suffered in this lifetime. So those of you that may be aware of inner child work, you may like to invite your inner child to be present with you. And sometimes that can be that you can really see them, and sometimes you can just feel them. And equally, it's just as powerful for you just to invite in your mind and set the intention that any inner children, whether they're babies or teenagers or toddlers, are ready to be receiving and ready to receive this healing today. So just invite them. Take a deep breath and just feel in your heart energy how that feels now. Sometimes people feel a sense of release when Mother Mary comes in. Sometimes people feel a sense of calm. And sometimes people just feel a bit more grounded. So just scan once again your light field, and imagine that you could just be shown, you know, your inner guidance is showing you where you may be seeing or feeling any of those interruptions. Okay, good. All right. So what I'm guided here actually to do is I'm seeing the Akashic Records, and I'm being guided to clear some old lifetimes here that you may have experienced around religious lifetimes. And what I'm seeing here is many times that, thank you, yeah, that we have given ourselves or sacrificed ourselves to another. And what the guides are saying to me is that what's really important now is to claim our true sovereignty, yeah, and to claim our true power. And when we remember that we have the power to heal ourselves, and when we remember that we are true sovereign beings of light, then perhaps what we can do is we can come into our heart space at times when we feel fear or uncertainty in the world, or if somebody tells us something that doesn't feel true or makes us feel worried. We can come into that sense of that pure knowing and that sovereignty and remember that we have the ability to heal ourselves. Okay. So when we've had many lifetimes where we have given our power away, perhaps we've given our power to the church, or we've given our power to another entity, whatever it might be, then part of that stays with us. And so sometimes what we might do is we give our power to another because we feel that other has the answers for us, or we feel scared that if we do not listen to the other, then something bad or difficult or painful might happen to us. And so we wish for you just to claim back your power today and claim back your sovereignty and allow this releasing. So just invite yourself to be ready to release any lifetimes where you sacrificed yourself or gave your power away. Okay, that affects you now. Okay. Creator, all that is, it is commanded that you pull, click, cancel, and delete on all 4 levels and resolve on the history level for anyone listening now present and anyone listening to the replay after. Any lifetimes across any timelines, any dimensions, past, present, future, of course, and anything seen, unseen, known, unknown, perceived, unperceived, any lifetimes where we have given our power away, any times that we have sacrificed ourselves for another, any times that we have handed our power over in the church or any cult activities or any religious orders, any times that we have married to God and felt that we couldn't marry anyone else. That's interesting. Anytime that we felt that because we were married to God, we had to sacrifice ourselves in any lifetime, meaning give all our worldly goods to go away, not receive the abundance that we are truly, truly designed to have in our sovereignty in this lifetime. Any time that we have stepped into any lifetime and that we still hold the negative pain and the negative feelings of entrapment within that lifetime, release all of these now. And anything that stops us from feeling that sense of empowerment, that sense of freedom in this timeline, in this experience as a human expression, and anything that stops us from truly shining our light to the world, truly shining that empowerment out to the world so that others can feel truly empowered by our light. Release it all now. Send to unconditional love so that we can all be free. Sending forgiveness to all of those aspects, all of those parts, all of those lifetimes, and anyone who was connected. Thank you. Any ancestors, any family members now that were connected in any of those lifetimes, please set them free now so that they can also remember their pure sovereignty in this lifetime, in this experience. And can you also raise the energy of the planet so that anyone listening now is able to shine their light in a much more sparkly, brighter way so that more people can remember that they can heal themselves. And so it is. So just take a deep breath, just stay connected for a moment or two. And just feel into the energy in your body. Just listen to your pure inner guidance here. And ask yourself, do I truly remember I can heal myself? Please help me to remember I can heal myself. And help me to guide others to remember this too. I claim back my sovereignty. I claim back my power. And I do this from a place of pure, unconditional love for myself and for others. Knowing and remembering that there is no separation between you or I or anyone. And when you feel ready, you can come back.
Susan, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful. There were some of the things that you said I just had to write down because I wanted to come back to them.
That's the guide.
You said, you are not the fixer. You're not the healer. You are the light for others to reflect their light off of. I think there are so many light workers that are feeling such immense responsibility to fix and to heal. And what you're saying is that's not our role.
No. And we were never meant to heal anyone else. We were meant to heal ourselves, right? And be that representation for change. And so by empowering everyone to know that they have the power, that doesn't mean we don't, help each other. And it doesn't mean we don't hold the space. And we have processes and techniques, amazing, incredible techniques that we've brought in from other lifetimes to remember in this lifetime. And, we have all of that. And of course, we're going to help each other. But if we were looking at, medicine, we hand our power over to medicine. Whereas with the work that perhaps the light workers can do, rather than someone becoming dependent on them as the healer for them, to help them to realize that they are their own power and they have their own sovereign power. And it's not giving your power to someone else to heal you. It's being supported by that person to heal yourself. Yeah.
Beautiful. And then you also did a piece of helping to remove any stuck energy, if you will, from past lifetimes, in particular where it comes to religion.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, I never know what they're going to do, but yeah, I could see it all, and I could see all these different lifetimes where we'd, been married to God and sacrificed everything and given everything. And at that time, that was fine. But of course now, and there was also something about marriages, wasn't there? Like, so that you feel you can't give yourself in a marriage now, which I thought was really interesting. So maybe there's some shifts going on with people in relationships now, because of that. But I know definitely that the religious lifetimes that we've had, and I'm sure that many of us listening and here today have had those, when we hold those, it's almost like we had to give our full selves to God. And that really isn't what it's about. It's about being part of God and being creator for ourselves, isn't it? And perhaps that was a story that we had to go through at that time, but we don't need to go through that story now. Yeah.
Right. I appreciated when you said we're not meant to be a sacrifice, that we're here for equal exchange in our light of the giving and the receiving. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And I suppose one of the things that I find, about my work is that it's kind of my mission to get people on their mission, right? So however that happens, for me, the key thing is to feel that you have all the wisdom within you. Okay. And then not that someone else has the wisdom. Yeah. And of course, we all have different wisdoms, if that's the way you can say it. We all have different wisdoms because we're channeling through what we were supposed to bring through in this lifetime. And, someone might be an amazing artist. Someone might be, do light language like I do sometimes. Someone else might be a writer, someone else. And we all bring that. And it doesn't mean that anyone is any better than anyone else. It's just a different thing they're bringing through. And we can really gain from that, can't we? We can really look at that, but not see it in that person is the one that will fix me because they have more wisdom. But it is about accessing that wisdom. I've just recently, over the last year, accessed my astrology wisdom. And I love it. And this astrology wisdom is probably from times and lifetimes and experiences. And I'm bringing that now into my work and looking at it in the Chiron stuff at the moment and the full moon in Aries we had yesterday. And, we can really look at the science of our chart and the science of who we are. So that's another bit of wisdom, which is really good fun. I think we might have lost you, Ruth. Maybe not.
I'm right here.
Back here, she's back.
I'm here.
All those different wisdoms are within everyone. And this is what I try and teach my children is that, are you still there, Ruth? Yeah, just about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here.
What I'm trying to teach my children, and I run a children's group, actually next Tuesday, I'm running a children's consciousness group where I'm going to teach, well, I'm not going to teach them, I'm going to remind them that they can manifest and create amazing things because they already know that, right? They just perhaps forgot. And so, what I try and say is you have all the answers within you, no matter how old you are, you have all the answers within you. And it's just accessing those answers. And for me, when I wrote my book, it was so that people can access their answers. When the guides channel through it and weave through the book from the processes, they are helping you access the answers. It's not like someone's telling you what to do. It's like you're finding the answers. And that for me is what it's all about. It's kind of always been like that, really, for me. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Really.
Susan, this is fabulous. Susan, thank you so much. If people want to learn more about you as a speaker, as an author, as a teacher, how do they do that?
They can find me on my website, which is susankennard.co.uk, or for the Americans, co.uk. Is that right? co.uk. And of course on Instagram, of course on Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. I have a YouTube channel where you can see lots and lots of my processes and meditations. I have a podcast, which is called The Spiritual Awakener. And it's where I interview people. Deb's been on my podcast, actually, where I interview people about their awakening moments that led them to be of service in the collective, really serve in the way that they were meant to serve in the world. And so I really love that. And I'd love people to find my podcast, The Spiritual Awakener, and really gain some, I don't know, just some knowledge that you are just as important as anybody else. We are everyday people that have had these awakening moments. And I was speaking to my group today, and I ran my program Sparkle to Success, and I was speaking to my group today and saying to them that what happened in that experience in your childhood is not in spite of you, is because of you. And so by using those parts of you that were really difficult, that were a story of what you brought in and perhaps you brought into experience for a very big reason, using that aspect of you to then really help others, that is really what I think we were meant to experience. We were meant to experience these difficulties and these emotional traumas so that we could overcome them and help others do the same. Whether it was a really difficult experience or whether it was just an awakening that you were like me, I had to step out of the closet and say, oh, I'm no longer a psychologist. Actually, I am a channel for source. And that for me was, 12 years ago when I went, okay, all right, I'm listening. I need to say that I'm a channel for source, because I was using that, but I just never told anyone. Yeah. And I kept it secret, but stepping out of the closet is really important. So your story and your journey is really your healing ability, your ability to heal yourself and your ability to help others heal themselves. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ruth.
So glad to have you here with us today, Susan.
Thanks,
And
Ruth. Thanks.
All of our viewers, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to connect inward, to go upward, and to connect further in to yourself as a spiritual being. So glad to have you all here. Do keep an eye on Enlightened World Network for other shows that are coming up. God bless and take good care. Bye-bye.